Here we go. Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we are back at Pascoe Avenue level crossing on the Kapiti line, just down from Marna Station, which is just up there. Last time we were here was in July 2020 when we still had all of the, well, mostly original equipment here. I wouldn't go that far, but we had the original barriers at least. But no, all been upgraded. Just a couple of weeks ago, I've had to wait until this week to come down here and film it because we've just had 2 long weekends with train lines being closed. So I've had to wait for the trains to actually be running to come down here. Now the work they've done here is quite extensive. Obviously we've got new barrier sets and lights. Just like the old level crossing though, only one set of lights on each side. There's no additional set of lights there or in the centre. That might be something that they add in at a later date, I don't know, but at the moment we just have a setup very similar to the old crossing where we have where we just have one set of lights, one bell and one barrier for each side of the crossing. The whole thing is Western Cullen Hayes, so it's a Western Cullen Hayes barrier, Western Cullen Hayes LED lights and Western Cullen Hayes e-bells. Makes it all nice and simple, doesn't it? You can see the other side there, back of the lights, down to the barrier unit there. Now I have to admit, I'm actually quite surprised at how long it's taken this crossing to be upgraded. Not so much for the road aspect, but the pedestrian access at this level crossing has always been terrible. Not much of a footpath really on either side, especially bad on that side. And I'm kind of surprised because there's actually quite a lot here. We've got a rugby football club, a yachting marina, a campsite, huge sports fields where they do all kinds of weekend sports, you know, like lots of kids sports, dog training centre, an indoor cricket facility. There's even a tennis court. There's even tennis courts and a council basketball court hall thing down there. So there's a footpath as well that goes all the way down to the beaches. So there's a lot in this area, and I would imagine there's probably actually a surprising amount of pedestrian traffic coming through here. Obviously there will be a lot of vehicle traffic, but there will be a lot of pedestrian and also cyclist access as well. So I'm surprised that the pedestrian access on this crossing wasn't upgraded sooner. You can clearly see here though where it does look like that this will eventually get pedestrian gates installed, certainly on this side, and it looks like there will be another sets of lights and stuff there for that. I would imagine that they're probably not going to be doing that on this side. As you can see if you come over this side, there's really not a lot of room here for that, and you can see there that it's actually blocked off over there. You can't go through, and where they've mounted the new barrier unit is pretty much slap bang in the middle of the footpath. So I'm guessing that what they're going to be wanting to do eventually is encourage people to cross the tracks on that side of the line, not on this side. And I think because there's someone's property there, they can't do anything about where that fence line is. If that house and fence wasn't there, you could feasibly build a pedestrian bit of the crossing here. But whether or not that is feasible, I don't know. Maybe if they, I don't know, it might be possible, and maybe they will one day look into it, but they're certainly not doing it at the moment. We'll switch over in a minute when the trains come through. I think that's pretty much all there is to see. I noticed that down here there are some new Siemens electricity control boxes here. You can clearly see on there that is Siemens. What does that say? I can't tell. There you go, Ganger's test panel. So this is the new level crossing controls right here. And it looks like something else is going to go in there eventually, but not here at the moment. I believe this green shed here is where the controls for the old crossing used to be. Oh, look at that. The old barrier arms. Look at that. The old barrier arms are still here. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, I think we've heard enough ramblings from me. So now all we've got to do is just hang around and wait for some trains. Here we go. Slow e-bells, slow lights. So just like with the old crossing, it activates as the train is pulling into Marner Station on a southbound service. So the train is currently at Marner Station. Sorry, it is quite windy today. Normally I'd be standing much closer than this, but I can't at the moment because of this construction fence that's here. So we'll have to make do with zooming in, but that's okay because we'll go and stand on the other side where when the northbound comes through. There we go. Now, one thing that I didn't point out at the start is these new traffic islands that have just been built here. As you can see, we've got the traffic islands here, obviously with a gap of separation for cyclists and pedestrians coming through, and also new traffic islands on that side. And in fact, is this cone actually marking out? No? Okay. I was just wondering if that cone might have been covering a hole for potentially more lights to be installed at a later date. That appears to not be happening at the moment. So yeah, as you can see at the moment, that's all blocked off. You can actually see where the new unit is actually much closer to the roadside than the old unit. The old barrier unit, I believe, was situated, was it there where that pad is, or am I mistaken? I'm not sure. You can still see another remnants of old something removed there. That looks like an old signpost has been taken out. But it's a bit difficult to place exactly where the old barrier unit was placed, which was of course a big Griswold unit, because obviously they've put new concrete blocks in to house the new Western Cullen Hayes structure. But yeah, so these new traffic islands have all just been put in. These never used to be here. Obviously as part, there's a bit of a road layout change there, try and help, you know, with the traffic. And like I say, obviously this is to curb the potential for people to drive around the barriers. You see there's a lot of level crossings now, and they basically separate the roads so that people can't drive around the barriers. But also it does make me wonder if eventually they will dig these out and put more lights in. Okay, so before we see the northbound going service, because we've got a while yet, if we come over to this side, we can see yet again another concrete pad here for, again, where eventually this is going to be fenced up. Electric gates will go in, make it all nice and safe for pedestrians crossing. I dare say that what will eventually have to happen is with the council or something, they'll have to put the footpath in on this side, because at the moment there's no footpath this side. only on that side. So maybe they'll have to work with Porora City Council on that one. I don't know exactly how they're going to make that work, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously in a year or two we'll come back down here, it'll all be done, and we'll see exactly how they did it. But in any case, in the meantime, let's go and wait for the northbound train. Okay, I'm wondering if this might be a freight service. I wasn't expecting it to activate just yet. No. Okay, that's interesting. Because the Metlink, I went for a little stroll up there because the Metlink website told me the train was another 15 minutes away. And I've only been gone a couple of minutes and it's come through. So obviously the Metlink website has got that one wrong. The sun's coming out now too. But there we go. We've seen the crossing from both sides. So even if perhaps not necessarily quite in the extent, maybe in a slightly more rushed fashion there than I had expected, but yeah, you can see the train up at Marna station. I'm just looking to make sure I'm not about to be run over. But yeah, there we go. So that is the newly upgraded Pascoe Avenue level crossing. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.